My name is Sofea, and today I'm going to present about persuasive speech. The title of my slide is my life vision board. So, wait. In this slide, I have the the three important points I'm going to point out about my speech. The number one is to crawl out of your comfort zone, and in this content is me talking to myself. So eventually, it's gonna be crawl out of my own comfort zone. And the second one is to learn how to embrace myself and to be brave and fight for myself, which is to love myself. So my first point is to fight for my strongest desire. Have you ever wondered how does it feel to live your life full with regrets? And so in my speech, these are the things that I will highlight about, which is to crawl out of my comfort zone. So as we have turned into young adults, I believe that each of us has our strongest desire and willing to do anything we want, and by doing this there's a lot of things that we were scared of, and when these things happens it will lead us to having to face our own regrets. And so to avoid being scared of mistakes, I have learned to actually live under a new skin for once. So upon growing up, I have also learned to actually face all my regrets and grow up to become more mature. And so, the next point is to love my responsibilities. So, talking about responsibilities, it is actually not the big responsibilities as an adult, but it is more to our own self, having to love our sacrifice and also our particular job as a young adult, which is to love our life more and to be more better in study. Since we are growing up to love ourselves, so we must face a lot of things, and so to love our responsibilities also means that we have to carefully take our steps and be more mature about our life. And my next point is by restating my first point, which is to live under a new skins, which actually means that we have to uh, create a new environment and try to be more mature about it. And from my point of view, which is for us to actually be more be more positive and try to learn new things instead of hating it. So I think from this point is actually we can repeat the same mistakes, but also by learning the outcomes of it. Never ignore our past and regrets. So we have to always learn new things from our regrets. I know it can be fearful to some people, but this is one of the way we can learn to be more practical about our life. And then we have to also meet new people and overcome our problems. Uh, uh, we can't really just have to take our problems as a big problems. Like we have to share it. Problems comes with a solution. Okay, no problems can be solved unless we are not willing to face it. So each problems that comes in our life, we have to share it. We have to talk to other people. We have to meet new people. We have to learn from their perspective, and we have to meet so many other friends. We have to make friends. Friends are very important, and so by overcoming our problems, we can actually create our own solution in the future. It is more strategic to always talk to people. Okay, this is what gonna be our healthy mindset. And then we also need to see different point of views. Don't just let our negativity takes over us. When we are fearful, we uh, we are we tend to always losing control of ourselves. So as earlier stated before, when we meet new people, we are willing to hear more opinions, and that will change our own opinion as well. So by seeing a different point of views, these things are very important upon growing up. Since my content is actually about me growing up, so all these things actually affect me and will affect you as well. So my next point is to set my target and make it happen. We can't just follow our dreams without any target. We have to focus on something. So when we choose a target, we can see all the procedures, all the steps that we must take into. So these things are what we call the responsibilities that I've stated before. All of these are responsibilities. We are responsible for whatever we are need to focus on. So we must have a target, and to achieve the target, we must have a goals. So all of these actually requires the same steps. So we have to really make it happen. So it's not a forceful things, it's a baby steps, but upon growing up we will learn how to eventually focus on our target. Also embrace myself. Okay, to embrace yourself, which means me talking to myself, to embrace myself, I need to always uh, I need to always take care of myself, which is to praise myself. Yes, it is important to also have people praising us, okay, to feel more appreciated. But it is more better if we can actually appreciate ourselves. Okay, never hate yourself for something you regret doing it. Okay, whenever you make mistake, you must learn from it, just like earlier. And then to embrace myself is actually to just take care of myself, love myself, and to avoid making more terrible mistakes. Okay, you must always praise yourself. Never expect anybody to just come to us. Okay, always take care of our own self. Next, to forgive ourselves. By forgiving ourselves, it avoids us from becoming too cruel to ourselves. Okay, yes, sometimes we overdid something. It somehow makes us feel more um, horrible, and it's not a good thing. Okay, to maintain your mental health, you must forgive yourself. Like, yes, I did that, and now I'm going to change myself. Like, never keep it to yourself. And then next is everyone grows up. Yes, oh, I'm sorry, everyone grows up. So me growing up will be the same as you. You also grow up because everyone grows up. So by growing up, we see people in different state. Okay, we've seen the people in their lower state, and that thing happened to us. It happens to everybody. Never underestimate yourself. Always bring up yourself. Always try to make sure that you are never left out. You can do this. And all wounds left their scars. This actually means that in the past, if you did something, never be ashamed about it. Okay, it's your learning step. So for me, as I'm talking to myself, I've did a lot of things in the past that makes me feel so awful. But that's actually just me as a child. And now, since I'm a young adult, I have learned that all wounds left their scars. So I've learned how to take care of myself. I've learned to become more independent. I've learned to take care of my own money, and I also learned to love myself. Okay, all these contents are what I could say is actually repeating, but it's the true process of us trying to be more better in our life. Okay, it's a growing process. Be positive. Honestly, I am a positive person. Just because I'm positive doesn't mean I have to smile 24/7. Doesn't mean that I have to laugh 24/7. Okay, just me being positive is just I never actually overthink something. It's just not me. My usual self is being positive, and also uh, I have a clear mind of anything. Okay, I don't really upset myself. Okay, everyone have their own anger, but for me, anything can be resolved. So being positive is a very good thing. You must not involve yourself in any toxic traits of friends or any environment. The next is to never exceed your own limit. Just me talking to myself, never exceed my own limit. Okay, patience has limits. That's what people say. But the truth is, patience has no limits. You must always be patient. because that's what makes life better. Be patient makes you feel grateful, and be patient makes all the good things happen to you. And by never exceeding my limit is just because as a student we have to work hard, we have to study hard. But when we have reached our limit, it doesn't mean when we are lazy to do something. It's just that we have felt all the burden coming up, like it's going up too much on ourselves. Well, it's time for you to stop and take a rest. Okay, own your stories, which means that I own my life. I own my own life. You have no reason to interrupt my book of life. Okay, I created my own life, I live my own path. So if you feel downgraded by someone, you must take up for yourself. Okay, imagine a situation, someone trying to interrupt you in your own life. Try to convince that they don't own the next chapter of your life. You create your own story, so you must live up to it. Okay, never let anyone step into your life. Uh, and so that's why my point is to own my own stories. Next is to focus on myself. Okay, we are actually doing um, our studies right now, and we will pursue our degree next. Okay, so by focusing on ourselves is not to look at the people around us just to feel scared. Okay, like we are feeling so small about ourselves. Stop doing that. We must focus on ourselves. If you want to succeed, just do it in our own way. Okay, never let anybody um, downgrade you. Next is to voice out your opinions. Okay, to voice out my opinions is to let people hear me out. Okay, never contain yourself with people's opinions. Always voice out yours. Okay, you have the right to say something as well. So in any situation, if you feel like people are not hearing you out, voice out yourself. Okay. Next is you're not the background. So in this context, I'm not the background. I will not fade in the background when there's a discussion. Okay, the simplest example I can put is in a discussion, because we're still students. So to make sure that we does not fade into the background is that we should be in the circle as well. When in a discussion, you must talk. Okay, you must tell people that you're there and you have the right to say something. uh, so that's why I point out earlier that we must voice out and never let ourselves fade in the background. Next is to stay courageous. We must always be brave. We must always uh, be confident on ourselves. Okay, to stay courageous for me, I have stepped into a new life. Okay, I used to be quite shy, but those phase has ended for me. Okay, entering high school, I've become more open. So actually I have learned to become more courageous when I was 13. You are born beautiful. Everyone is born beautiful. I was born in my own beautiful way. So the same goes to you. Everyone born beautiful. Never. Okay, I know right now it's a trend to become pretty on social media, but that does not define you're beautiful. Okay, your own beautiful can be the way you're thinking. Having a healthy mind is a very beautiful way of you. Okay, always keep it to yourself that you're born beautiful. And then next we have, oh, this is just a picture of you believing in yourself and that you're going to be a champion. Champion doesn't mean you have to race. You just have to take things step by step, but understand things better. Okay? Always be a champion in your life. And this is just some quote that I have found on the internet that I love. To fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. So to love yourself will give you more happiness, and that you can believe more in yourself. That's all from me. Thank you.
Today I'll be talking about some ways to be confident to give a speech. Do you all know what your MBTI is? MBTI is basically referring to someone's personality by taking MBTI tests. If you don't know what your MBTI is, you just can find your MBTI on internet. That is basically you just can Google it on internet and you type MBTI test and you can do the examination that they give. And okay, I'm sorry, is it more to introvert or extrovert? Mine is ISFJ, which is my better personality is more to introvert. And in this speech, I'll be talking and explaining about how to be more confident when talking to people, or more specifically, to be more confident by giving a speech. As an introvert person, that is me, who is having a hard time to talk in front of people. Without wasting any time, I would like to explain my first point on how to get more confident when talking to people, which is know what you want to talk about. Obviously, when you're giving a speech, you need to know the context of your speech. Like for example, like in this speech, informative speech, I know I want to talk about how to give a speech. So that's why I need to know what I want to talk, and I need to research it, or I need to know the point of what I want to talk. If I don't know what I want to talk, I will be have a lot of pause, and it is not a good speech. So this speech you want to talk about must related to audience. Like if you talk to children, don't talk about like financial problems or government problems. Don't speak about that. Don't give a speech like that, because they don't know anything about that. If you want to give a speech to a children, you can, for example, you can talk about recycle, the good of reducing water, and something like that, that makes them to be more encouraged to do a good thing. For example, if you want to talk about to the children, another example is you can share a story about cartoon that they love, and if your audience are teenagers or adult like us, you can talk about how to manage our time after being a teenagers, because that topics are really can relate to us. Like we are a college student, we need to manage our financial. If not, we will not a beggar, but we will lack of money. I'm sorry. And you need to create a simple outline so that you know where you want to stop, where you want to pause, where you want to emphasize your speech. So if you want the audience to interact with your speech without any of them yawning, you must create a simple speech outline to make it easier memorize your line. If not, your speech will lagging, or you will not have any idea. Next is I want to share it with you guys that practice a lot. Sorry. I'm sorry. Next is talk to your partner a lot. Like if you want to do something, to give a speech, you must practice with your friends. And this method actually helped me a lot because I am so lack of confidence when I want to talk in front of people. So I practice with my partner that I comfortable with, and in that way I will gain more confidence when talking in front of audience. Next, it is because I can improve myself better. I can improve myself better before I'm giving a speech in front of a lot of people that I am not comfortable with. I'm pretty sure this method is one of the best way for everyone because it will gain your confidence that will be succeed because most of my friends use this method to to gain to gain their knowledge and to gain their confidence to giving a speech in front of a lot of people. And if you judge yourself, like you talk to yourself alone, you will not know what others point. No, sorry, what others point of view with the way you giving a talk. Like if I talk alone, I will not know what is my mistake. So that's why I need to talk to anyone else, and I need them to give the to give me to let me know what is my mistakes. Moving on from the second main point, which is another last point that I want to elaborate is be professional on the podium. I'm sorry. To have audience respect, you must look professional on the podium so that they will pay attention to you. A speaker needs to control their word when talking to public and not include any unnecessary words and sensitive words that may get another person or another I'm sorry because it will unless it's necessary to talk about that, and maybe it is need to if the topic need to be more known to other people, then you can just talk about it. You need to pay attention to your body language. If you just stand still on the podium, your audience will not attract you. So you need to give some body language, but not too much. Not too much, but you need to give a speech and no eye contact. And if you don't give any eye contact, then yes, you need to do eye contact. The audience will not attract to your speech if you will not get bored if you're not giving a speech without body language and no eye contact. Yes. I'm sorry. Speaker needs to think positively when talking. Allah Akbar. Speaker needs to think positively when talking in front of audience because it will give them confidence, and also speaker will look professional when they interact with audience. For example, asking questions randomly call out a name to give a short explanation or their own opinion. So actually, it is so hard to talk in front of people when you are an introvert person or when you have an anxiety. But when you always practice, you will naturally become used to it. And to come to all of my points, giving a speech is actually very hard to handle. Giving a speech in front of people, in front of a lot of people, is not that easy that all people talk. But you can make it fun and have intonation in your speech. I'm trying my best to help myself and giving all my knowledge and my own experience and share it to you guys. Not all method that I can adapt to, that you can also applicable for that. But that is the 3 ways are the most helpful method for me. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Good. So next we will have Nashima to present her slide.
Okay. Okay. So everyone can hear clearly. Can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna start.
Yes.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. So now I would like to start present about my slide, which is entitled "Life Dreams." Sorry, entitled "40 Days Challenge to Get a Better Lifestyle." Under the theme "Life Dreams." Okay, for introduction, staying healthy in mind and body is essential for us, especially in this current state of the world. And taking good care of ourselves can help us to move from simply getting through to thriving and growing during these unusual times. Okay, let's move to the main point. For the first one is eat well and eat healthy. The second one is get enough sleep, and the last one is exercise regularly. So for the first transition, eat well and eat healthy. We can nourish our body with healthy food and keep ourselves hydrated. Next, get enough sleep. We have to keep a bedtime schedule to give our body the rest to recover. And the last point is exercise regularly. So we can set aside at least 30 minutes a day to work out or to simply move our body. So it will be a productive day for us. Okay, next, let's move to the first transition. Okay, for the first one, eating healthy food. By eating healthy food, by eating healthy food and following food pyramid, we can have a healthy, better lifestyle. By what? By following a healthy eating pattern that includes a variety of delicious food and drinks. We also can try to consume or change to consume brown rice instead of white rice, and also eat whole meal bread instead of the white bread that we usually eat. And eating healthy foods also can help us to digest can help the digestive system function, so it can lower the risk of heart disease and some cancers. All right, next, get enough sleep. Along with nutrition, we also have to take care of our sleep is because it is one of the pillars of health. Lack of sleep also will associated with many negative health effects to our body. And actually, most adults need 7 or more hours of good quality sleep on a regular schedule each night, because if we often if we often have trouble sleeping off or always feel tired after sleeping, we can talk to the doctor to get more quality sleeps. And it is important to get enough sleep as it may help us function well throughout the day. All right. Um, I'm sorry. Wait. Okay. For the last one is exercise regularly. So exercise can help us to prevent and treat mental illness like depression, anxiety, and else. And physical activity also may help us to reduce stress level, cope with the frustration, and also provide us some important self-time, or we can call it me time. Okay, we all know that exercise is very important in our lives, but we may not know why or what exercise can do for us. So, actually, a person who do exercises regularly may having a good mental health, and also the vitality than a person who doesn't do any exercise at least twice a week. Okay, next let's move to the this is an extra information of my slides. The areas of self-care. There are a few types of self-care, which is mental, emotional, physical, and social. So for the first one, mental, tending to mind mental is tending to our mind by practicing mindfulness and learning continuously. The second one, emotional. Emotional is just like staying in touch or fully engaging with our emotions. The physical one is to tending to our physical body by keeping it healthy. And also the last one is social, staying connected with family, friends, and our surroundings. So for mental self-care, we can set a routine or any scheduled time for online classes as well as time for reviewing lessons and doing homework. Next, the rest we can just read it slightly. Okay. So practice self-care practices can look different for everyone. It is just depend on us because for some it can mean staying still, while for some it can mean being active. So the main idea is to engage in an activity that recharge or energizes us. Okay, so that's all from me. So let's get up and let's be more healthier for a better healthy lifestyle. Thank you.
Thank you, Ain. So the next one is Sofisafiyyah to present the slide.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good evening. So, I'm Sofisafiyyah will present about music is the strongest form of magic on me. When you fall down, when you get up, although tiring, there will be a day to smile. Eventually, a day to smile will come, someday by you kiss. Okay, the song itself gave me a very good energy. For me, the melody is important, but the message behind the lyrics are more important. The meaning of the lyric will leave a deep impression on us, whether it is in English, Korean, Spanish, or even in Indian. If you understand the lyrics, you can always relate yourself with any song and get the energy you want for your day to be perfect. It is such an honor to become a song composer in the future, since I have seen a lot of people save from any self-harm after hearing a song. I would love to write an infinity number of songs that can relate to the reality of life. As a teenager, I know it's hard for us to go through a teenager's life. So sometimes I will simply be aggressive in my own room, singing any song that relates to my situation at that time, and realize that there are more people going through the same thing with me. BTS is my role model to become a song composer. Since 2016, I have started listening to their song. It's really helped me to cope with my fear back then. I spent my 2016 exploring BTS track. I realized that my situation was normal as others, and my emotions were valid. Even though we didn't speak the same language, the message from the lyric left a deep impression on me. There's an example. On 21st November 2017, a 20 years old girl called Steph, she has been through a hard life. She have family, friends, and also studies problems. But then she found out BTS songs, and then BTS music healed her and inspired her to keep going in her life, because the lyric, the message behind the song reached her and comfort her. Next, music therapy is used to enhance conventional treatment for a variety of illness, and disease processes. So music can elevate mood. Listening to music can benefit overall well-being, help regulate emotion, create happiness, and relaxation in every day. And also some researchers found that listening to music can relieve stress by triggering biochemical stress reducer. And moreover, researchers have shown that blood flows more easily when music played. It can also reduce heart rate, lower pressure, decrease stress hormone, and increase endorphin levels in the blood. The best part is music, strength, learning, and memory. It's really helped me recall information more efficiently. When I am studying, I will play some soft music, some soft instrument, so that I will always have my energy to study even it's more than 4 hours. So I found that I easily memorize something by turning the fact into music, or any kind of song that I like, and in that way I still can have fun while learning for many hours. Last but not least, healthier lifestyle can be bring by music too. Music can increase workout routine. Music can increase workout endurance. Listening to those hype songs, workout track can boost physical performance and increase endurance during a tough exercise session. In addition, when I listen to hit song, I didn't notice how fast time pass. I can exercise for a long time without feeling exhausted. Music can help people eat less during a meal by playing soft music in the background while dimming the light. It can help me slow down while eating and ultimately consume less food in one sitting. I will focus on the background song and sometimes forgot to continue the eating because I'm busy analyze the song. When I was 15 years old, I'm into dieting and starting to make workout as my daily routine. To avoid become bored, I will play all my hype songs to have fun during the workout session.
Music gives me a bunch of goodness. It gives me good energy to every inch of me. So to conclude the benefit of music, I have justified 3 important points, which are song composer is my future to be, for more songs full of music for society. Music can elevate, it helps relieve stress, anxiety, and depression. A healthier lifestyle can be bring by music. So there is a quote I found relate to my topic is music is a means of giving form of our inner feeling without taking them to event or object in the world. So with the quote given just now, I will end my speech now. Thank you. Okay, from Ani's speech, um, it's really clear and it's straightforward from on her topic, so it's easy for us to understand it. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Sophie. Next, I will evaluate Farah.
Okay, so for Farah's presentation, it's all um, clear and also interesting to be heard. Okay, so the content is very suitable for us because it shows the suitable context to be taught to when it comes to the age, races, and religion. And also, nice point one.
Okay, thank you, Ain. So next, I will evaluate Farah. Okay, I will evaluate Ain. Sorry. Okay. So from her speech, the intonation is very clear. Her flow is also very smooth. Her slides are very well done, and all the points are. All the points made sense in terms of her own context, and it is so easy to understand. Okay.
Okay, from Sophie's speech just now, I think her speech is spoke very well. She give her speech very well, and the slide is so interesting. And I think the way she explained, the way she explained why she loved music and um, be how she loved music well. So I think she evaluated the her her points very well. So it's very nice. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Farah. And so that's all from our group. We have outlined the MPU presentation for persuasive speech. Thank you.